Hello and welcome back to Manifesting with the Moon. I am here with Stephanie Cartwright today, and we are just gonna hop in and do a little happy solstice, welcoming in this new energy on this darkest night of the year in the Northern Hemisphere, longest if you're in the Southern Hemisphere. And yeah, talk to you a little bit about what, if any, things we do to like recognize this, seasonal event. So, how about you, Stephanie? Do you guys do anything special?
So we don't do anything special as a family. However, I have over the years done multiple things to see the shortest night or shortest day. And I have gone and watched sunrise at Glastonbury, and that was one of my favorites. I've also been and gone to really high areas and watched the sunrise come up over the mountains. So I really like to be in nature at a solstice, and I love the sort of like the sunrise, but I also love sunset. So, I never know which is the right or the wrong way. I just kind of go with what feels right. And a bit of a cleansing ritual as well. So I would normally go and watch the sunrise, and then I would normally come back and I would have a really nice healthy breakfast and I would have a nice shower, and it would just feel like I'm completely resetting and welcoming the sun back in. So for me, it's about the sunrise, the sun arriving, because this is about the shortest, the darkest point. So then when the sun comes up, it's the return of the sun. So I really like that kind of celebration of returning to the sun.
Oh, yes. I love that. How lucky have you that you've gone to Glastonbury for such a lovely event. Like that's gorgeous. I we don't do anything super spectacular like that either, but lately I have had friends who have been telling me like, "Oh yes, we celebrate Yule versus Christmas or solstice versus the Christmas time." And I was like, that really feels more right and natural for me. Like one of my friends, they light a fire in their fireplace and then they stay up for 24 hours in order to make sure
Nice.
that the fire is burning, which is very traditional and very nice. And they do that as a family, which I thought was really lovely. And I think they watch like the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which will definitely do
Wow.
it. Like
Yeah.
that's quite the thing, right?
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing. So I think that's very nice. And then another person was like, "Oh, I'm making like sun catchers for every which one," which I was like, "That's perfect, right? Because we are
Yeah.
celebrating the return of the sun and everything." So this is my first year that for us as a family, I was like, let's do like some kind of family gift that we kind of have to do together. Because during this darkest night of the year, I want to make sure that I have the thing that brings me the most light, which are my kids and husband, like right there, so that we can kind of,
Hmm.
make it through that early darkness. So
Yeah.
I feel us kind of shifting more that way. I don't know, like,
Hmm.
if we're going to be able to do it completely, but for me personally, I'm like, oh, this feels like very nice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That
whatever
sounds lovely.
tradition. Yeah, whatever tradition I think that you have, I think just kind of like recognizing in the past, the solstice has been like one of those things that I've just been like, oh, that was last week. But as I'm getting, a little bit older and more aware and more in tune and cutting out the distractions of my life, it feels very nice to just kind of like very low key recognize like, ah, yes.
Yeah.
Like, let's do a wave to Ra, the Egyptian god, or say, hey, Apollo, thanks for driving that chariot across the sky. Just something, whatever feels good for you. Make it fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that that is part of it. It's about that lightness and brightness, and fun is that energy of lightness and brightness. So, lots of people do a lot of dancing and singing and chanting and all of those sorts of things. Music has always been a big part of these sorts of celebrations in the past. And, there's no reason why you don't just carry on doing them now. So it's really, whatever is fun and enjoyable. Do you do any letting go of 25, seeing in 26, but at this point to do with the solstice, so that you're using almost like the sun bringing in your year rather than thinking about it as a calendar year.
Oh, this is a very interesting thing because I love planning. I have a lot of Virgo in my astrological chart. So I like spend time like looking at planners for 2026, of
Yeah,
course. And I have had a lot of like thoughts about this. Like, do I start, kind of planning my year with the solstice? Do I do it with my solar return? My husband has just recently, he's like, oh yeah, I've decided that my new year is going to happen on my solar return each year because I feel like a new person, like as everything is shifting in his human design, I've started to like get his solar return report. So he's like, that's when I'm going to do
yeah.
it. And I'm like, ugh, I don't know. That doesn't feel quite right. The solstice never felt quite right for it. And New Year's always felt very arbitrary for me, even though it's
Hmm.
exciting, right? So I have decided over the last couple of years that I can never like pick a word for January, or I can never like get my intentions or my goals set up. So I always try to do it during the Lunar New Year. Which
Yeah,
I think is in February. So that feels
yeah.
right for me. And I kind of love that like big celebration type
Hmm.
situation, like, ooh, and I love the Eastern mythology or astrology, the Chinese astrology, like moving into that next like phase. So that's
Gorgeous.
what it is for me. How about you?
Yeah.
Do you do it for the
Yeah, so
solstice?
I will probably do something around the solstice. For me, it feels like what do I want the Brit to? So I often see the solstice as being my sowing my seeds.
Mm.
Okay, so I often think about it as this is where I'm going to put my seeds in the darkness. And now the light has returned. This is where it increases. So this is where the roots will go down during the winter, and then it will start to poke its little head up in spring, and then it will start to grow like the other plants as the light continues through to the summer solstice. So,
Oh, I
so
love
yeah,
that.
so I tend to kind of think of this as being my seeds. So I don't necessarily think about what has happened. I might do that as a New Year thing, but I definitely think about what do I want to bring in now that the light is returning? What do I want to bring in with the light? So I very much see it as the sun almost like getting higher in the sky. So
Mm.
it's almost like what are I bringing in? Almost like like a wave of sunshine.
I
Yeah.
like that. I like that. And I think it's a good time. I mean, whatever feels good for you, I think is great. I think that for me, like I don't I don't set any intentions at the solstice, but I do definitely start like thinking about them. I let things start filtering in like how are we feeling about this? What could we, shift maybe a little bit? Like what are things going? And then as we move into, January, because Capricorn season, it can be kind of intense.
Yeah.
So I really like to, I guess I really like to just like wait until like we're a little bit past that. And I'm like, oh, it's a little bit
Hmm.
nice with this Aquarius energy. Aquarius feels a little bit more in tune with my Libra air sign where I'm like, oh, okay, now things are starting to stir again instead of me like laying down on the earth, not wanting to do anything.
Yeah, yeah. This
So
use almost like I suppose this is quite nice using a little bit of the fieriness maybe in Sagittarius as well. Might be quite nice.
yeah, yes. Let's just like light the fire over here, and then in a couple of days, I'm gonna go lay down and I'm gonna look at the fire and see if the fire shows me anything. And then
Yeah,
when I'm finally ready, maybe I'll get up and do something.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because you don't need to rush these things. This the thing is, and I think that that's what the darkest night in a way really helps symbolize is there is no rush. This is our time of absolutely going in, resting, and almost like not being scared of the darkness. Allow yourself to sit in the darkness because very often this is where the golden threads are. Now I keep thinking about the Minotaur and Golden Fleece and being in the middle of a labyrinth.
Always, always thinking about the Minotaur. Always, always, always. And thinking about
Yeah,
how I can go and meet him and have a cup of tea and like do some knitting with him. Like, where is he gonna lead me? Yes, always.
Yeah,
It's always the Minotaur and the Medusa with Stephanie and I. We're just like constantly moving around in the
yeah.
darkness. Like, it's fun.
It is. And this is where the dark, the longest night. This is where you can spend that time and not be scared. You've got this gorgeous fire, you've got this warmth. Actually, there's always, whenever you get into the middle of a labyrinth, you also just carry on walking and you work your way out of it. And in fact, that takes me back to Glastonbury. In fact, they do a walking labyrinth that they
Oh,
create in one of the gardens every solstice. So the summer solstice and winter solstice, and you do a walking labyrinth, like a
oh,
meditation, walking meditation round the labyrinth. And as I say, and then you get to the middle, and then you just walk straight back out again. You don't turn around, you just keep walking. There's
yeah.
never any going backwards. It's always just movement,
I
always
love
movement.
that. Those are so awesome. Like, I don't know who came up
Yeah.
with those, but maybe it was the Minotaur. I don't know. But I love walking
Maybe.
labyrinths. Who know? Who knows? It's the
Yeah.
best. Yeah. I actually kind of really love this time of year for that because it does feel like there's no pressure. Like during the year, like there's so much pressure. The sun is out. You want to get the most out of the sunshine and everything. And it just feels like this such a nice release during this solstice time and just like let's just sit in the dark. You can't do anything in the dark. So let's just stargaze. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Stargaze, watch the fire, watch the flames dance, see what images that reveal themselves to you. And yeah, because all of that is just allowing your sort of like subconscious to also get involved. And we always love a bit of that.
We always love the subconscious coming out and telling
Hmm.
us what we need to uh, kind of clear out or shed some light on. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm probably be doing it on my own rather than as a family. But for me, that's absolutely fine. That's, it's my space and my journey. So that's what I tend to do.
Ah, that's amazing. Well, I wish everyone a happy solstice wherever you are, and I hope that you all have a great time in the dark or in the light, wherever you are. And we actually probably won't see you again until 2026.
Yeah. So it's happy solstice, happy Christmas, happy New Year.
Absolutely. And everyone stay safe and, you know, have a great one. We'll see you later.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.